Tales from Sales, Episode 4. Here's something interesting, and if it weren't actually true, it would be difficult to believe. But I can assure you this was the case. When you're selling somebody something technical, like a security system, a CCTV system, monitors, and all that sort of, these are electronic pieces of equipment. The same could apply to a photocopier, even double glazing, anything like that. But let's stick with the brief, which is CCTV. Now, conventionally, someone who's trying to persuade a prospect is a person who's showing some interest in the product, the prospect. If someone is interested, conventional thinking would be, I produce my demonstration kit and show the prospect and wow them with the specifications. Our lenses are really sharp, our recording equipment is fantastic, and this is superior, high quality equipment. And much better than the competitors, better price, all that type of thing. And for the large part, that's how selling is taught to people, to demonstrate the specifications and superiority of it, and why it's a wise decision. Even if you're selling a shower, the shower heats up instantly and it goes to a certain temperature and all this type of thing. Specifications. Now, I never did that because it's entirely the wrong thing to do. And it won't get you a sale. It might fluke you a sale here and there, but not if you're trying to get consistent results. So I remarkably never took any demonstration kit with me, even though I was issued with one from several different companies. I never used it. Also, at no point did I ever even mention the trade names, models of any equipment. I never spoke about anything to do with specifications and deliberately avoided this. And so much so that people didn't even know who I was or which company I came from. In fact, for the most part, I used to forget to even leave a business card. What I wouldn't forget would be I would leave with a signed contract, and that meant the person would then be committed to thousands of pounds for a system which would then get installed within a few days. And there's a good reason why I didn't demonstrate equipment and talk about it, because I learned that people are not interested. The only thing someone is interested in is their own self-interest. So you sell, that is, promote and emphasize the benefits. What's in it for them? you don't sell the specifications. That doesn't mean anything to people. Their eyes will glaze over. What you sell is the benefits of owning a system. You don't sell them the specifications. They're not tech heads. These people have got staff to manage, a business to run. So if you're selling or promoting a recording camera system, you talk about how it will allow them great control over the business, as well as being a good security tool. It allows them to have eyes at the back of their head. They can watch their business happening. If you're a hotel owner, you can set up in your room, your living room upstairs. Often people live in a part of the hotel, and watch your staff while you're not there. So if you've got cameras all over the place, then you're much more in control of what's going on. If you see some type of problem, you might be able to go down and sort it out. If you see a customer you want to greet, you can say, oh, there's such and such, I'll come down and speak to them in a friendly way. Or you can see someone you want to avoid and say, well, I'm not going out just now because I can see that person in their trouble. So what you're selling is not specific equipment and technical stuff. You're promoting what's in it for the person, the benefit to them. And this meant that I had no need to talk about equipment at all. Nothing. Didn't mention any specifications whatsoever. Didn't mention the model. And more often than not, I would leave the business after having obtained and closed the sale, gone away with a contract, and had forgotten even to leave my business card, which meant that they didn't even know who they'd purchased from. So I would be driving up the road back to base and thought, oh, I better actually send my business cards because I forgot to do that. So they had committed to something when they didn't even know what it was. And that was because I sold the idea of what it could do for them. So they became so enthusiastic about what this piece of kit would do. They weren't interested in what it was, whether it was any particular brand name. In their mind, they'd been sold on the idea of the benefits. And that's how you sell something. You don't sell the kit. But if you make the mistake of starting to demonstrate pieces of kit, you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble, because the person will then say, how does this work? How does that work? What happens if I do that? And is this the best one? Or can I have another model? Can I have this one? Can this zoom in? Can it pull back? Somebody else told me this, another person told me that, and then I've got another person coming in and they've got this better system which is coming up. It'll go on and on. You never win. You'd be a fool to go into that type of selling situation, because you're going to lose. And you're introducing too many variables, many things that you can't solve. So what you do is you sell the concept. The reason why people were willing to sign contracts with me is because I was talking to them at a personal level. I wasn't talking about equipment. That's more intimate, it's more connective. And I never, ever used the word contract, and I never, ever used the word sign. If you say, would you like to sign the contract to commit yourself to this expensive equipment, bang goes your sale. Bye-bye, sale. What I would say is, now that you're happy with what I've explained, thank you, blah, 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 and I'll go through the close in another episode, but let's say the close has been done. I would then say it would help if you could authorise the paperwork, and that will allow me to put this through the office, get a technical team on it, and we can get this installed as soon as possible for you. So it would help if you could authorise the paperwork. If you said to someone, would you like to sign a contract? They'll say no. So very careful choice of words. And if you choose the right words, you're controlling the person's mind. You're controlling their thinking. If you say, would you like to sign a long lease which will last up to 6 years? They say, do you think I'm mad? If you say to someone, would you like to give it a try? All I need just now is for you to authorise the paperwork, and that allows us to get it all in action. And before we know it, by Tuesday next week, you'll have your system installed and you'll get a lot of control over these people who are probably robbing you blind. Now you'll be in control. Think how much more persuasive that is.